plan B, stick it to your memory.
Are you ready?
No, we're not swag, play around on it. People know you okay, chillin' with the guys. You always get the plan A, 'cause I'm a mission like the never need the plan B, stick it to your memory, and this is where we be.
Greetings. How you doing? Feels like it's been at least a month. It's got to be, hasn't it? Welcome to episode 76 of Castle Combe TV. And we're really getting in that festive spirit. You're lucky that I've not got my Christmas jumper on tonight. I tell you, that would have put you off your dinner, I can tell you. But there's a lot to still talk about. We're going to cover some fantastic award that the team have secured for a very big event that we've had this year. We're going to talk about regs. We're going to talk about calendar. We're going to talk about season tickets and all sorts of things like that. But the good news for you all is we're limiting it to just 1 hour tonight. Goose says, festive greetings all. Festive greetings to you, my friend. Good to hear from you. Keep the comments coming in from all of you. Emma Mason, are we going to get a tune? There's no such thing as a tune from me. I have to tell you, it's funny that you should say that, but no, it would break windows, to be honest. Mike Cotton, hello, Mike. Merry Christmas, everyone. Good to hear from you. Good to see that you're all piling in as well. Ross Parker got the light. Good to hear from that. I think I saw a sneaky peek that you're racing next year, mate, in a hot hatches. That would be great to see. Welcome back. The good news is it isn't just me rabbiting on, and it's going to be a full house because we're going to really try and get an idea of the night, the magnitude of the award from people that are in the know from all sorts of different angles. So let's bring them all out. Hey, look at that. See, I told you it was a full house. We've got working around my window. We've got, which way? I've got to point that way. We've got George Marshallsay, the sales and marketing manager from the circuit. Evening, George.
Evening.
Below there, it's Kat Dall'Occo, just all-round legend of the racing club. How are you doing, Kat?
I'm good. How is everyone?
Well, we're all good, especially as I've said no to the singing, so we're all safe now. It's fine. And down at that corner angle there, it's the big boss man himself. It's Ken Davies. Great to have you on, Ken. We haven't had you on since I think the awards do, really, have we? To be honest with you,
I think it was. I think it was the first race meeting after COVID. It's even longer than that, actually.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy. Well, it's great to have have you on, Ken. Which is also, I was thinking, when we're playing some of those intro videos and transitions and all of that, that's new to you, isn't it? You haven't really seen those, to be honest, since you last come on. We've tweaked things up a little bit.
Well, I do tune in occasionally, Chris, and watch the program. So yeah.
Good point. I forgot that, Ken. I just know you're a busy man. You know, we can't tie you down very often. One thing is still consistent, and that's the gin, and it is the Castle Combe glass that I'm still drinking from here. So, cheers to you all. And just again, Emma says, "Merry Christmas, all from Josh. Merry Christmas, Joshy." Emma Brown, our Formula Ford coordinator, said, "Can we go racing now?" And I think that really sums it up. And on that front, primarily to the two below us at the moment, George, so we get to let them talk for a minute, is let's bring up the subject of the regs that are nearly sorted. I think, Kat, if I come to you to let us know the state of play we're at the moment.
Sure. I emailed the draft version 1 hot hatch regs for the hot hatch championship. Just want to highlight the championship word there. I've just sent those out probably about 25 minutes ago. So please, everybody, check your
After the show.
After the show.
After, not now.
And I sent them to Tina to double check through as well. So any feedback, ping it my way. I'll collate the information, feed that back to Ian, and then we'll try and sort of secure a decent set of draft regs that we can then send on to MSUK. So hot hatches have gone. GTs went a couple of days ago to the racers. Again, had a little bit of feedback from those, so they're being amended as we speak. And Formula Fords have also gone. The rounds have gone up for everyone this year, so I know that's probably going to be a bit of a talking point. Again, feedback what you can to us. Nothing set in stone at the moment, although, you know, we want to secure the calendar as much as possible. And then saloons, I had hoped I'd get them out to everybody by this evening so we could bring up any comments that might come up. But I was running a bit late because of the formatting. So apologies to our saloon drivers. But I know that they'll be very patient and actually not even have thought about the regs for next year, probably.
Well, someone we know has been thinking about the regs and has still got a lot of work to do as well. Ken, bringing you in on this one, is that we've got a new face in terms of scrutineer working through these ones this year, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We've got a new scrutineer, John Wardle, and he's really stamped his presence on the regs. He's been through the saloon car regs, a root and branch search through them. He's knocked out things that haven't been relevant. He's tidied up other things, and he's really revised them. And he's also had a quick look through the hot hatch regs, because obviously we're changing next year from a series to a championship. So John has looked at those regs as well, and he's incredibly he's very methodical, and he's got an orderly mind, and he can actually sort of sift through these things and discard the irrelevancies and concentrate on all the things that really are very, very important, and also trying to ensure clarity for people reading them, and you know, taking out ambiguity and things like that. So you know, I'm really confident that the regs are going to be very clear to everyone. And you know, if there are any things that we've got to change after that or revise, then we will. But certainly, you know, with regard to the hot hatch regs, we're changing from a series to a championship next year. You know, it's perhaps too much to hope that they're going to be exactly right in one fell swoop. You know, certainly it's a transition year. But you know, we're doing our very best to make sure that you know, they're as clear for everybody and unambiguous as we can make them.
And that's a key thing that needs to be borne in mind, isn't it? Is that great that for many, it's really great that it's going from a series to a championship. It's been super successful. You can't just suddenly go, there's a switch, flick it, it's now a championship. That you need to go back to the roots and make sure that the regs, the rules, that they reflect that it's now a point scoring winning championship.
Yeah, and obviously now it is a championship. You know, a lot of people will be investing in it. and quite rightly they have the right to expect the regs and the actual enforcement of those regs and the policing of them is going to be to everyone's advantage. And we're going to try and ensure from a series to a championship now that we, as I said before, we take out all that ambiguity and any things that weren't too clear, so that now we can enforce them and make sure everybody knows that they're singing from the same hymn sheet.
Absolutely. And I mean, Kat, from your perspective, just reiterating, I know you've largely said it, is that the regs are out there. We're largely there, but it is now at a stage that, please, people, have a look, feedback. It doesn't mean that the tail wags the dog. The powers that be have got to stay in control of this. However, they're very much looking, listening, learning, and we want that feedback to then see common trends and something that may have been missed, Kat. That's what you need now from people.
Absolutely. And it could be that there's even something really small like a typo, which we've all read them several times, and it's such a big document with lots of words and reference points in there that another person might just suddenly, I've just had something from one of our very keen team sort of managers and previous champion who's just questioning one thing, but that's just probably because there might be a space missing, or maybe it's referencing the wrong class. So it's not, we're not expecting everyone to rewrite it for us, but it is just please check. Everyone will have something different that they're looking for. So it's just helpful for us to kind of pick up the bits that can be easily rectified, that won't change the draft regs sort of in principle, as it were. We've done a lot of consultation. We hope we put them together based on the feedback we've had and what the drivers or racers and teams are looking for. So I can see it all as very positive. Once we've ironed out a few things, then we'll get the the next set out to people so they can see what amendments have been made. Was that tactfully put? Beautifully as ever.
I don't know whether anyone can answer this one, but someone, Marcus Rainbow, said, I hope tubular lower arms are made legal for saloon regs 2024. Are you able to answer that one, Ken, or is that a John Wardle point?
I think I'll leave that one to John Wardle.
There you go. So, Marcus, get that comment in. We don't know the answer to that. Let the technical boffins that are there to really work with these regs in more detail than us. But thank you for the question, Marcus. Feed that back. It's really, really important that we get these. Doesn't mean it will be, but it's important to sort of get these trends. Does that cover the regs enough at this stage, guys? Are we happy with what we said there? Anything else that you want to add, Kat, on that front?
No, I think so. Just, if you have something that you feel strongly about mentioning, do mention it. There's no harm in, feeding something back. I've had quite a lot from the Formula Ford, things that maybe, even if the regs haven't necessarily changed, but you want to just double check something, now's the time to do it. Because if there hasn't been a change, but there was something over the last season that you felt perhaps wasn't adhered to correctly, or that could have been done slightly differently, then now's the time, whilst they're all in a draft format. We've still got a little bit of time to bash these things out and get them right.
We do, and of course they need to know before they start working on their cars that 1 week before the first race.
1 day before the first race.
Probably, yeah. Thanks, Marcus. Marcus actually says thank you, guys, in answering his question.
Does Marcus have an email address to get in touch with us, Chris? Marcus, if you want to just let Chris know how we can reach out, or if you've got a way of getting in touch, that would be great.
What will be the email address, best email address, Kat? And I'll put it on screen as well.
So catd@ccracingclub.co.uk. And then I can forward things on to John and Rod.
Yeah, this is just to prove that it's live. There you go. catd@ccracingclub.co.uk. So, Marcus, ping an email through there with your questions or whatever. So, and then get the answers from the right people. So, thank you. Keep them coming in. That will be great. There you go. Marcus says, just speaking on Harrison Chamberlain's behalf. Okay, yes. Right. Speak to them, Marcus, so that it can be worked out what the story is, and that's the best thing. Okay, just very quickly before we move on to the next subject there, because you're still coming in with your comments. Chris Mason, our medic. Chris Mason, evening all, evening mate. Stuart Tinker Taylor, happy Christmas to you all from a fuffer-loving camp softcore fan. I hope you're going to be up on that camp spectator bank all season this time, Stuart, because you were missing for a few, weren't you? Gerald Howe, one of our mighty officials, evening all, season's greetings. Emma Brown apologises to you, Kat. She says she did see the email, but it's been crazy few days. I'll look after this, I promise. Bless her. So that's the Formula Ford coordinator. Joe Shingler, happy Xmas to everyone at Castle Combe Racing Club from the old Marshal of the Year. Joe, we just call that Marshal of the Year. We may have a young Marshal of the Year, but we don't call you the old Marshal of the Year. All right, mate? You're on a level. It's all good. Let's just quickly check. And our saloon car coordinator, Matt Coyle, says, Merry Christmas to the Combe family. Can't wait for I know is going to be an epic 2024 season. I agree. Right, let me put this up on the screen first of all. The Historic Awards competitive event. That's what we were in for, and we were hoping that we were going to secure this. But before we go into any details on this, Ken, give us some background on this Royal Automobile Club. Put it in context what a big deal this is.
Yeah, well, if you consider the Royal Automobile Club probably started life as just the Automobile Club when the automobile first came on the scene, and that was I think it started in 1897. I mean that's like 125 years ago. That really puts things in context. So it started off as the Automobile Club in 1897, and I think it was in 1907 that I think it would have been Edward VII made it the Royal Automobile. So he gave it the Royal Assent. So the Automobile Association, the birth of the motor car, it then became the Royal Automobile Association. So the whole organization, the august RAC, has been in being for 125 years. So that gives you a bit of depth on the actual organization that was at the head of this great award. The actual historic awards started life in, I think it was 2019.
Okay.
And we were nominated. The Autumn Classic was nominated in 2019. Three events or people or whatever the award is for are nominated in each category, and we were nominated for the best competitive event, historic competitive event. And sadly, we lost out to the hill climb at Chateau Impney in the Midlands, but promptly went bankrupt as soon as they won the award.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't sort of like set a scene for this year or next year.
Yeah, we hope that's not a portent of things to come. But certainly we lost out, and it was a great event when it was running. So we lost to a worthy competitor. Chateau Impney was a great event. Don't know what happened there, but sadly the chateau closed, and that was the end of it. So we were able to use the nominated logo after 2019. So we were one of the three events nominated. But of course, this year we were nominated again. Everything came together, and even the weather on that particular September day that the Autumn Classic took place, I think it was even a sort of a mini heat wave around about that time of September. And the weather does make a difference. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But everything fell into place. And our nomination was for the best historic competitive event. And we were up against the Classic Touring Car Club for that great event they put on at Brands Hatch, that sort of step back in time.
Tourers. Yeah, the
Super Tourers.
Yeah.
So they were one of our competitors, and the other competitor was let me see, it was the Vintage Hot Rod Association, and they had an event at Pendine, which got a lot of these hot rods, these old sort of 30s, 20s, 50s hot rods that have been put together. And they were on Pendine Beach, which has long been used for record attempts and racing and things like that. So those are the two events we were up against, and of course the Autumn Classic. So yeah, that's really where it all comes from. The judges are an eminent bunch of people who are specialists in their own field. They are journalists: Simon Taylor, Ian Titmarsh, who I know you know very well, Ian.
Yeah.
He's the chairman of the judges, a really long-standing commentator from Silverstone, who's probably forgotten more about motorsport than most of us know. And then people like Simon Taylor, James Page, Paul Lawrence, Lizzie Pope, and then you've got the specialised people in restoration and things like that who help choose the other awards. So a bunch of eminent judges, and so basically that's a little bit of background.
Which is just brilliant to see. And incidentally, I've also got to put this message up, is that Marie Gardner says, "Merry Christmas to you from Pat Strawford and Marie Gardner," which is a lovely thing to see. And I'm going to come to you, George, on this one, because I know, for example, even this show was your idea. You approached me and said, we need to do something because, from the family perspective in your involvement with the circuit, this is something that you were proud enough to have been nominated previously, which probably made you nervous going to this year's event of like, please come on. And to get it meant a lot, didn't it, for the circuit and the racing club and all of us?
Yeah, definitely. I've got the runners-up award in my office, and I think it must have been just around when I was starting. So yeah, it was one of those, you go there and you're not 100% sure how you're going to do. It was a really good year, obviously. But yeah, when we got to the actual awards and you see like Brands Hatch involved and the Hot Rods, like they had a fantastic bit of footage and stuff for their event. So yeah, really fun, and surprise.
Well, and that's the thing, is that no one takes these things for granted, and it just looked like a very nice event, because it was all three of you that went there, and George back in your tux and everything ready again for it, and it looked like a really highfalutin gig, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like the venue was crazy as well. Like, yeah, and just to get an idea of like all these different awards and like people who are out there in like similar fields, it was really good.
And I meant to actually put this up as well, is to show that there was the thing to show historic awards. 2023 winner, competitive event, Castle Combe Autumn Classic, 23rd of September 2023. It's all there in absolute lights to show this one, and that is the three of you up on stage in front of the rather posh looking venue. And where was it? Where was the venue?
It was in Pall Mall.
Yeah.
Pall Mall. Wow. Okay. And clearly absolutely ecstatic. and the three of you, did you drink that bottle of champagne?
It's in the office at work, I think.
Your Honour.
Poor Ken had to carry it all the way home from Paddington in his bag, I think. It was a pretty big bottle, and also on the table, the winners also get 2 bottles of champagne to drink as you get the award. So we felt sort of overwhelmed with the amount of champagne, actually. But no, we'll save that and have a big party with it at some point when everybody's back in the club and circuit.
And who's this that's with the two of you then?
Ed China, Wheeler Dealers.
Oh yes, okay. I thought I recognised him.
Yeah, he's I was a bit starstruck, actually. I just sat there sort of waving at him like this across the table. He must have thought, who's that lunatic from Castle Combe? And I obviously then can I please have a photograph? So it was lovely to have him there. He was there as a guest as well and he was on our table. So we were kind of surrounded really by car celebrities. Is that fair to say, George and Ken? The sort of, you couldn't really speak to everybody because you're so excited. It was all about Castle Combe, to be fair. Everybody else wasn't really important. I know I shouldn't say that, but it was fabulous. Really lovely evening.
I do love it. And I love this photo where you look absolutely properly shocked.
Where did you get that from? I thought I deleted that.
You look properly shocked, Kat, which I adore that.
My heart nearly flew out of that one shoulder that wasn't covered up. Literally, my mouth was dry. And then when Hannah, who was you know, doing the commentary, said, "Oh, we'll come to Cat first," I was I'm I think on my feet. But no, it was I felt so proud to represent the club. It was incredible, really. So you think about how many hundreds of people the award is for, and then you think, you know, I'm there representing. I was so chuffed. It's never going to happen again for me, probably, but it was amazing. Just the venue. It was the Christmas lights had been switched on in London.
Oh, wow.
The building in Pall Mall is just something else. You know, you put your coat in the cloakroom and you sweep up the stairs, and the paintings are bigger than my house. And you know, and this, I always say this, I'm not particularly a car person, but I love all that stuff that goes along with it. So I wouldn't necessarily know what the paintings were of, but you can appreciate the beauty. And at the end of the evening, George and Ken shot off because we were desperate. Well, they were desperately looking for a chessboard, weren't we, George?
Yeah.
There's a chessboard hidden somewhere. So the evening didn't end for us at the end of the award. We just kind of carried on sort of making the most of the venue while we could.
I don't blame you. And it looks, judging from that photo where Ken wasn't there, he would already start his journey with the big bottle of champagne by the looks of it. But I mean, George, you heard that Kat was, you know, really bringing the emotions to life there beautifully from both a personal and from the racing club side, but from the circuit side of things. I saw you nod in absolute recognition that it looked like you could relate to what Kat was saying there, emotions wise.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, really good team which has gone into the event for us this year, and yeah, I think from our side we took up a level, but obviously just being like competitive and stuff like the racing and stuff, which really brought it home as well. But it's like, yeah, such a great event.
But I think that it's worth saying that's the beauty of the likes of the Autumn Classic, is it's very much a team effort, because yes, fine, from the racing club, we get the racing clubs that are coming to race and part of it and put on the on-track activities and things like that. But you and the events team really are sort of, accelerating the whole thing. And it's that beautiful partnership that is making this an event for even people that have never been to a racing. It is worth coming to see everything that's off track as well as on track.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to dress up, just to be involved, isn't it, George?
Yeah.
Just feel the atmosphere. And you're absolutely right about the weather. You know, we were very lucky, but yeah, I think it's just, it's kind of like almost a sort of bit of a gem that most people don't know about. So with a bit of luck, the word's out there, and it's actually, I thought it was great, as Ken and George will probably say, to be there in amongst people that put on the most spectacular events and have the Autumn Classic recognised. I think that's incredible.
I agree, and I love this as well. Marie Gardner says, "We're watching you now," and Pat is very interested in what's being said. Well done, everyone, Pat said. So there you go. The matriarch of the circuit is very proud and pleased with everything. Craig Cook, we saw him with the mini events at Combe. Can't wait for Autumn Classic. Missed the last one as it was on a race schedule, but defo there for 2024. And he also says Merry Christmas to everyone. Daniel Williams says Merry Christmas, everyone. Bring on 2024. Just quickly catching up on a couple of others. Darren Duffield, hello Duffers. He says Happy Christmas, everyone. Bill Badger Brockbank says, evening all. Looking forward to seeing you back with a new car from the looks of it, Bill. I'm looking forward to that one. Dan Blake, someone that you'll work with, Ken, I'm sure. He says, evening everyone. Looking forward to being back as part of the Clarkin team next season. These motorsport free weekends are long. I agree. By the end of the season, you must be the same. Well, actually, all of us, is that you get to the end of the season, you go, yeah, I'm ready for a break now. And then you have a few weekends off and you go, all right, I'm ready to get going again now. And the winter's long.
Chris, could you go back to the that shot that you had with the stage and the presentation? There's a couple of sort of important points there.
Yep.
Right. Have a look at the. I mean, for example, look at the table directly in front of the stage where we are, and look at that. The RAC had brought out a lot of their trophies, and one of those trophies was the TT trophy, and that was first presented in 1905.
Wow.
Yeah, that sort of lives in the RAC club in a glass cabinet, and it comes out to be presented, and then it's carefully put back in there by whoever the security company is. And also around there is the British Grand Prix trophy, which used to be presented to the winner of the British Grand Prix. I mean, the FIA now present the awards, but that was there somewhere. Now you can imagine how many Formula One drivers are actually, Formula One drivers of the 50s, 60s, 70s have actually sort of handled that trophy. So that was a really nice touch. That the RAC get these out, they dust them off, and they were right in the middle of the table for people to sort of enjoy and look at. And the other thing I would say is that it was such an eminent crowd. We've seen Kat and George with Ed China. Richard Hammond was floating around there as well from what was the program called? It was called Top Gear. Yep. So he was there somewhere. There were all sorts of celebrities just dotted around, and yeah, the compere, Hannah White, remarkable lady. She's done the fastest ever crossing by sail of the English Channel, and she's also solo crossed the Atlantic 3 times.
Wow.
And she's she's got a husband and 3 kids at home. Yeah, I mean, just the place was just full of remarkable people, which brings me on to a nice sort of segue. And us 3 went up to get the award, but the award was certainly the sum of many parts. We accepted the award, but the award was the result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. And Chris, you are part of that team as well. I mean, your commentary team and so on. Kat's admin and front of house. The marshals, the officials. The circuit staff. George and his team. The people who are thinking of events and thinking of new angles. We had some star drivers we invited along. Who'd raced at the circuit. That was very much a last minute idea, George, wasn't it? And, but it seemed to work well, and we got a load of well-known people there. Some couldn't come, but we certainly got a number of well-known people. So if you add all these things together like a conglomerate, those people and a lot of people who are listening to this tonight, they all played a part in us actually winning this award. So whilst George, Kat, and myself actually were lucky enough to go up and receive it, the result is the sum of many parts. So just thanks to everybody in the club, in the circuit, and all those people involved, because they really did make a major contribution, and I hope we will. I mean, I'm not sure if we can hang on to it, but I mean the objective would be to try and sort of win it again in 2024.
And let's be honest, George, coming to you now, is that the gauntlet is being thrown down to try and trump it even further by, in the first breath, going back to a 2-day event, isn't it? The Autumn Classic is going to be a 2-day event.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Yeah, I'm really excited, and for the racing, obviously, and what a success it was this year, made a lot of sense, I think. But
yeah, and I mean, I've put that link on the top there, and I've just suddenly put it as a message to go out to all of the channels where people are watching it, and it'll be, the website exists to already have a look at it. The 21st and 22nd of September. I love the homepage where you've got the video footage showing.
We literally just got it out, so there might be a few slight errors, but
good. It really
it's been
does.
in the pipeline for about a year, so it's been great to get it out.
I mean, Phil Kinch, evening, Kinchy. He is obviously the heavily involved in the press and media and what have you for TCR UK. The Autumn Classic was an amazing event to be at. Well done to everyone involved. The award is well deserved by you all. Lovely comment. Here's what I'm going to put this out to you, George, because you can maybe address this or just take it away as a feedback. Mike Cotton says, one thing I missed at the Classic was the inter-race or lunch break demos.
Yeah,
There's a lot off circuit, wasn't there? But is there a plan to maybe get a few more things on circuit just from a demo perspective?
I believe. I think the racing calendar is all filled up. All of the. I think it's going to be mainly just racing, but I think we're looking to grow still like static displays and stuff like that. We do have another event this year. We should be announcing it very very soon. It's the Masters of Motoring live event as well, which is going to be like a classic car show with like just demonstration laps and stuff like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, and Rich Perry, I'm sure as well will take that question from Mike as well, just in case that we are able to get some on-track demonstrations in.
Yeah,
because
that's
you guys,
idea, my knowing of it, but yeah, it might be.
yeah, I mean, because you guys are just flat out coming up with
Evolving,
all of the
yeah.
ideas. Yeah, exactly. So Emma Brown says, hoping to make it to the Autumn Classic in 24. Looks a superb event. Well done, all on the great award, thoroughly deserved. And picking up on the comment that George just made, then I'll take this to Ken to start with. Is that the general consensus or the feedback is that not only are we already completely full racing wise from the clubs that are coming to be part of the 2 days, we coulda, shoulda got a third day in. That's how popular it is for people to bring their championships and series there.
Yeah, and I think the first thing to say is yes, we're going back to 2 days, and I would say to all members of Castle Combe Racing Club, perhaps historic racing isn't your particular persuasion. It doesn't sort of appeal to everybody. But it's a very attractive form of racing, and it's worth a lot of money as well. I mean, they reckon, for example, the historic racing industry in Britain, they reckon it's worth, now this is an eye-watering sum of money. I checked it before I'm going to say these words to you, but they reckon it's worth 18 billion pounds. The historic racing, rallying, all the historic motoring, competitive and non-competitive, is worth about 18 billion pounds in the UK, and it employs something in the region of about 115,000 people. So that's a really valuable market to have. So it's really something which we've got to cherish. So back to what I was saying, it doesn't appeal to all our club members. I appreciate that. Your Formula Ford, your GT, your saloons, your hot hatches, your mighty minis, your purists with that particular form of racing. I understand that completely. But from the club's point of view, the Autumn Classic must be one of the most lucrative events that we organise every year. As far as the club coffers are concerned, it brings in, because of the nature of the racing, we managed to pack a lot of races in, and so on. We make a decent return on that particular meeting, and next year we'll be making it on 2 days. Now, just a message to all club members: this money that comes into the club coffers obviously helps maintain the club, keep the club going, and it also helps stabilize the entry fee levels that we set for everything. So, whilst it might not be your persuasion, it's certainly to all club members' benefits that this event is a success. And indirectly or directly, you will benefit from the success of that event.
And I do encourage people, if you think it's not, it's worth coming and checking it out. I mean, I love this from Craig Cook, who says, I remember a very wet Autumn Classic just before I started commentating, and the GT40 was on track, and it was very emotional, and the sound, wow. And I love that. And Goose, one of the Quarry Hardcore, says, I wasn't a fan of the classics a few years ago as the racing was too much. After you, sir. So yeah, it was like that. No, after you. It certainly isn't like that now. Racing was superb. Glad I got the time off work next year. And I agree, it probably did used to be that, and it always staggers me just how hard they race. Not just the Autumn Classic. I'm very lucky to be on commentary teams for the likes of the Masters historic events with the classic F1 cars and Le Mans cars and all those sorts of things at the likes of Donington and Brands Hatch and Silverstone. They race hard. I mean, I was staggered when we had the Formula One cars going around the Brands Hatch GP circuit, and this was Formula One cars from the 80s, 70s. When they made proper noise, not like now. And there was probably about 20 of them in this one particular race that sticks in my mind, and they were racing really hard. There was no protecting these cars. But if you take at Castle Combe in an autumn classic of yesteryear, is that there was something like a £10 million Aston Martin that got dinged up at Quarry Corner. You know, they do still race them hard, and it's just beautiful to see and hear.
Yeah. It's
The
repaired
sound.
now, by the way. That car's been repaired and it's racing again.
Good. I'm not surprised with all those people that are employed working on this. I'm absolutely not surprised. It is so good to hear that it's going to be even bigger. Have a look at that website. I've sent the link. Get involved, and it is worth coming along to that and just checking it out, both off track and on track. It is just a drool fest. Wonderful hard race, and as Goose was saying, is that they really do. Oh, one of our regular racers, Jazz Sapra, says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Evening, Jazz. Good to hear from you, my friend. Well, I think you summed it up brilliantly, Ken. Is congratulations to everyone, all of yourselves included, on the Autumn Classic, because we're going to move on now from that one. Before I let you go, Ken, because I know you're nipping off at this stage, is there anything else you want to say, either on the Autumn Classic and the award, or just as the chairman of the Castle Combe Racing Club?
All I say is that we've got a new competitions director. We've got Ian Danaher, who joined us back in April. He's been busy populating the program. Kat has done a sterling job as well with regards to getting this calendar together. It's not complete yet, but it's a great calendar. We've got some wonderful races that are actually going to come and visit us. So yeah, everything looks good for 2024. Still a few pieces of the jigsaw we've got to put in place, but we will have a very, very meaningful season to actually show everyone. Media and Track Day, when we put that together in March, that's our starting point. And from my own point of view, it's an absolute privilege to be the chairman of Castle Combe Racing Club, and it has been for the last I don't know how long. I mean, it's just there are people who sit around the table. We have board meetings regularly. We meet people at race meetings who come and help. Those people inspire me. I get my inspiration from them and their enthusiasm and the way that they behave and the actual value they put in being members of the club. So just please keep doing what you've been doing. And I got no doubts we'll come through another successful season.
And before I let you go, is the media day you mentioned, 16th of March, Saturday the 16th of March. I'm right in saying that people could come down and see that as well, couldn't they? Of course.
It's a meet and greet, and it's a communication, and it's meet the press, and it's bring the car and show it to the scrutineer. Everybody's welcome. The more the merrier. Just tell us you're coming, so that we can prepare and we can put the catering on and things like that.
I love it. And by the way, apologies, I wasn't ignoring you, Jane. I will go back when you were mentioning the lady. Forgive me, I've forgotten her name. That was the host at the awards night. Ken, who was that?
It was Hannah White.
Hannah White. Jane Brewer made a comment saying, "What a woman," with what you were saying. And she's followed that up as well after what you just said now and said, such a wonderful team. Well done all. So indeed, it's great. So hopefully we'll see people at the media day. I'm going to let you go now, Ken, because I know you've got a scoot. In which case, the last thing to say to you, my friend, is have a wonderful Christmas, Ken. Thank you for your hard work. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side at the media day. I guess will be the first time I'll see you again.
Yeah, and from myself down here in deepest Wales, a very, very Merry Christmas to our members and all our supporters and our competitors and everybody. Just have a great holiday.
Absolutely. Ken, thank you for joining us. I'm going to play a transition as we remove you. Don't go anywhere because we're still covering a couple more bits and pieces on the final quarter of an hour of this show. But Ken, all the best, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So Ken scoots off as well, and Emma Brown says, have a lovely Christmas, Ken, and thank you for everything. Jane does I think that's the heart emoji. I'm too old for all of that. I don't know. And the same from Sarah Bakewell. So then it was just the three of us. And if we now quickly, for the last 15 minutes, focus on the content that we're looking at, we're going to go into more detail, everybody, on the events throughout the whole year, both not just racing, but everything at the circuit over the year. Probably, George, what do you reckon? Maybe February time to start getting people really excited about the year ahead?
Yeah.
I think that's
for
about
our
right.
I'm get together next one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll
Yeah.
we'll do a show in January, but in February, I think Rich will come on as well,
Yeah.
and people like that, and we'll really start getting people excited. But I'm going to start momentarily, if it's all right with you, George, and we'll just quickly whip through the race events that are looking good so far. So, Kat, turning to you.
Yep.
The usual starting point, the starter pistol, is the legendary Howard's Day for our late great Howard Strawford, of course. And that is the 500th race day meeting at Castle Combe.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, incredible, isn't it? Which is why it led us into inviting the 500 Owners Club to join us. It just seemed apt that they did, so they're very excited to come along to Howard's Day.
Yeah.
And as well as all of our home championships having a double header to kick the season off, we've got the Welsh Racing Drivers Association and the Classic and Modern Motorsport Club. So it's going to be a packed start to the season, quite early in the season, April.
Yeah,
4th.
1st of April, isn't it? Monday, 1st of April.
Yeah. But we've looking back at the previous history, the racing has happened earlier than that before. So so it'll be fun. Yeah.
We've had it in March before as well. So yes, that's one of those weird ones, is that we're constantly chasing the Easter Monday, aren't we, basically?
Yes,
We're at
definitely.
the mercy of that. After that, it's then May Day Madness on the Bank Holiday Monday, the 6th of May. And again, we've got the 3 home championships, Formula Ford Saloons and Hot Hatches, but the GTs will probably be present with the Dave Allen Memorial Trophy.
Yeah, so that's the Dave Allen is back for the 11th season. So it's our 11th year. And I know that I've had quite a few inquiries already about what date that was going to be racing. So it's good to be able to let people know that if you're a Dave Allen racer, it's going to be Monday, the 6th of May. And as soon as we hit January, about the 15th, we'll open up the registrations, and then everyone can start entering and registering and getting ready for that, because again it comes around quite quickly, doesn't it?
It does. And I actually said that the GTs aren't there. Is that still the case? Because I know that we're still moving a few bits and pieces.
So at the moment, Formula Ford's Saloons and Hot Hatches are all racing rounds 3 and 4 of their championships.
Sports 2000, and this is interesting because we normally have their sprint versions, but we've actually got their enduro, which
it's a mini enduro with a pit.
Correct.
Yeah.
And having commentated on Sports 2000s countless times all around the country, we know they're good. They're so fast around Castle Combe, and the mini enduro event they do is brilliant. I've covered that elsewhere, and I'm looking forward to that. For me, though, the highlight of that event, no disrespect to anything else, the modified Fords. Now, I have been privileged to cover that in a few different circuits, and it is like a massive grid of the most ridiculous Fords, from standard all the way up to like 7-litre Capris and all sorts of things like that. It's just a bonkers series.
Yeah, I think they're going to have, having spoken with Paul Neville, who's the sort of lead of that group, they've got, I think they normally have a wait list of something like 10 cars. So it's going to be epic, and they're all ready. Their contracts are all done. They're all excited to come. And I'd just like to say to everybody that you've got the circuit website, and you also have the club website that works alongside it. So on the club website, I try and put as much detail in there about all of the visiting teams. So if you want to know a little bit more about what everybody's doing and who's visiting, then the club website, which can sometimes lead in from the circuit one, will have more detail as well. So do make sure you look at both.
No, agreed. Next up is another Bank Holiday Monday, the 27th of May, Combe Carnival, as well as the Formula Fords, the GTs. I think we may well be having the Mark Sutton Memorial Race. Wait and see about that one.
Yeah.
But visiting is that we've got several 750 Motor Club ones. I think for that event, for example, I'm over in the old paddock commentary box because Ian Salmon will be in the main one because 750 is his bag, and we've got their Type R trophy, so the Honda Civic Type Rs, the
Yeah.
Clio Sports,
Yeah.
and they're normally packed hot hatch
Correct.
championship as
Yeah.
well. That's some big ones they're bringing out to play, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's going to be another strong one as well. So those first 3 race meetings are
We're not going to have much space in the paddock, are we?
no, don't mention the paddock.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Then we move on to the 2-day event, the Summer Spectacular, 15th and 16th of June.
Yeah.
And we've got, as well as obviously our own championships, 2 of them on one day, 2 of them on the other. It's great to see back the Caterham Graduates Racing Club are back, a club close to my heart. The MGBs and the MGB V8s. Minis, which ones are they? That's the 7s, isn't it? No, it's the modern ones, isn't it?
Modern, it's the Challenge, I think.
Yeah.
And forgive me, I haven't got their full details on my laptop, but yes, so that's going to be good to have them join us as well. I think for the time, is that right? Is that right?
I think so. I think so, or certainly at least for a very long time. So they're going to be amazing. The modern, they're like mini touring cars, basically. They really are. And of course, their Big Daddy Championship supports the British touring car. So it's going to be wicked to see those. We've got Track Attack, I think it is, that are there. And
they're now known as.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah. So it's Track
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Junior Saloons.
Yeah. And it's over 2 days as well.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So there, yes, and all of those are repeating on the second day, which is great.
Yeah.
So plenty of action there. Then we got an interesting one that there's a degree of unknown at the moment. You and Ian are flat out with this one at the moment because we got beautifully thrown an additional race day, 3rd of August, where we should be having all our local championships, but there's things like we might have the Formula 4 Carnival, we might have Bentleys there. We're not sure on that day yet, are we?
No, we've got because we were incredibly grateful to the circuit for allowing us that 10th day, because that makes a huge difference to the club. So we've got a few things in the mix. Again, haven't really committed to putting anything actually on the website or on the timetable firmly, because I know Ian's trying to sort of balance, the amount of time people want to race. So we added extra rounds for our home championships, so that could up everybody by 2, so that there wasn't this huge gap between racing on the 16th of June and then nothing until the 20th of August.
Yeah,
chunk of time, isn't it, to be without?
Absolutely. You know our races too well now, Kat. The Monday, the 26th of August, Combe Countdown. Again, we've got all of our championships back again, and still just finalising a few things. Hopefully, James Beckett's United Formula 4 Championship will be here. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's defo.
That's wicked. That is a big deal to get Mr. Beckett's crowd down. So I look forward to that one.
Yeah.
Again, there's a possibility the Bentleys might be in that one, so we're just finalising that. And I don't know whether, because I might have an out of date list here, but the MSVR prototypes.
That's what I've got down as a provisional as well. Again, I haven't. I need to keep.
Wow.
We've kind of had a bit of a getting the regs done, and then we'll, as soon as the week of January comes and we hit Autosport, we can firm up these last few.
Keep everything crossed, people, because that will be amazing for that one. Then we've got the Autumn Classic on the 21st and 22nd. And I mean, that is jam-packed of a whole load of different people visiting us over those 2 days, Kat.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, just briefly, you'll know GT Sports Car Cup, Ferrari, HRDC, Jaguars, HSCC have got 3 grids. Mini 7s and Amelias, which are coming back. Which is
I knew they were coming at some point. I did know they were there at some point.
Yeah, so that's packed for those 2 days.
I cannot wait. Absolutely amazing. And then Saturday, the 5th of October, Grand Finals Day, where our champions will be crowned in all of our local championships. But we've also got the likes of the MSVR Coupe Cup,
Yeah.
The Z cars and the production GTIs hopefully will be there as well, which were great fun. From what I remember, because that was the weekend I got rushed to hospital when they were with us. So hopefully I'll get to enjoy that a little bit more this time and stay there for the duration.
Yeah. Mighty Minis.
Yep. And the Mighty Minis there as well, and still possibly something else. So again, a bumper grand finals day for us as well. So
yeah, looking good.
It does. Ian's still flat out just finalising all these bits and pieces for us, but that already looks, and I'm sure people listening are going, "Oh, that sounds good."
And anyone listening who isn't racing with us but has a grid or knows of a grid that wants to come and squeeze in, please reach out, because we'll always look at the timetable.
Absolutely. And in terms of that being a lot of activity there, now I'm going to do this the wrong way round in some respect. George, coming to you now, is that customers are able to get season tickets.
Yeah.
That includes a whole raft of different events as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got different. The season tickets are the same as last year, with a racing one, a super one, which is the racing and our like car shows, and we've done just a shows one as well. So
okay.
Yeah, it's all like one of those ideas which has been floating around for a few years, and then thought we'd give it a go, and trying different things to like give back to the customers for like bulk discounts and stuff like that. But
no, I like the sound of that, and then that means that you can then go to all of those events. So then flicking it on its head, and as I said, we're going to go in a lot more detail into the new year. In fact, let me just quickly, before I do that, because I'm conscious that I've been ignoring a few people, and have a think now, because we're going to just quickly whip through the other events that are there. Tom Hunter Jr., it was so lovely to see you, Tom, come over from the States, and it was lovely to be able to put a set of headphones on you and see everything, be able to chat with you. Sorry, I've seen those links. Thanks, George. I've lost where I was on that now. So yeah, Tom, wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas from rainy Southern California.
Yeah.
Is he rubbing that in? Probably. And he also, obviously, Emma's wished him Merry Christmas as well, being a Formula Forder, and he's wished Happy New Year as well to everyone. And Goose says, flipping heck, 27th of May is epic, and I missed the June weekender. No way, my friend. You can't be missing that. Craig says, oh, wow, I'm so excited, and only an hour away. Get in. So he's going to be there. Oh, Emma, with her hopefully glass of French red, is sat there now, slightly late on parade. Merry Christmas to you all. And Craig then going through that, has gone, oh my God, Mini 7 going into the S's and the Mini Challenge, no mercy, absolutely. And Goose makes the comment that says, outstanding calendar, really going to be a good year. It is. So let's take that even further, George, is that let's get an idea of the things that we've got going. We've got the staple diet of the normal action days, haven't we? The spring, the summer, the Forge, the JDM, Halloween.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing
all of our Action Day calendar. The Performance German Day we've transformed into a German Action Day this year to try and bring a bit more people on board and stuff like that, to make it a bit more welcoming to everyone, kind of thing. But then we've also expanded Rally Day XL, which is a 2-day event as well as Autumn Classic, the weekend after Autumn Classic, I believe. So that should be exciting. A bit of a crossover there with like historics and stuff as well.
It is, and it is going large and trying to go back to some of the what we used to do with it, where it was very much about rallies, and there's lots off track as well as on track and things like that. Just quickly putting up, because we've got that castlecombecircuit.co.uk/season-passes-2024 to see that. I know that I've been booked. Actually, I think Autumn Classic, I'm possibly doing more on stage, because you've got a whole stage at the Autumn Classic and they want me to do things there. And I'm pretty sure that Rich has kind of gone similar sort of vein for the for the Rally Day XL, or the Rally. You can't call it Rally Day now, can we?
The Rally Day XL is what they've gone for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's plural. There's 2 days. That's the key point.
Yeah, Rally Days.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking for, because it's all about the entertainment value and all those kind of things for days like that as well. Have you got any plans in place, or is that one to wait for us to go into
I think actually, we're holding back on announcements for Rally Day at the moment. There's a lot in the pipeline, a lot of things getting confirmed and stuff, I know. But it was one of them where information coming soon. But yeah, it's all very exciting.
That's fine. I'm
And
just
there's
looking
the
at
yeah,
the other. Okay, and the
Masters of
Masters
Motoring. Yeah,
of Motoring. That was the other one that you just sent me, wasn't it?
yeah. I'm actually on holiday at the moment, so there's a lot of stuff which is like a crossover where we're doing with the new website. So this will be released on our website before Christmas. But this is someone we saw actually at the awards dinner, and they've like they're doing an event with us in partnership this year. They have a static car display at Bowood House,
Oh yes.
similar to like the Conjure of Excellence kind of vibe. Elegance, yeah. But yeah, a lot of very nice supercar, classic cars out at Bowood. But they wanted to do a live element to it this year, so that's going to be the Saturday at our event, at our place. So yeah, and a
Ask
lot
and
of
we will welcome. That's the
yeah,
reality there, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And there's like I know some really like a world championship rally driver there last year, and yeah, so yeah, definitely like a lot of crossover with what we do, and so yeah, exciting one.
Exactly. Well, I've just put that Masters of Motoring website link as well into the chat, so you'll be able to click that one as well. Dan Parsons says 2024 will be my first season. Merry Christmas. Welcome, my friend. You're in the vortex now, Dan. That's it. Once you've started, it's like I was about to say a brand of crisps then, but we're not supposed to do that, are we? But once you pop, you can't stop. That's the reality. And Sarah Bakewell, I love Castle Combe. You're only up the road from me. Brilliant. Sarah, that's wonderful. What have we missed any of the events out there, George?
No, I think we got everything covered there. Yeah,
I think
all
we
the
have.
action day format. Yeah, but yeah,
And then, of course, let's not forget that we've got the racing school where you can actually get out on circuit yourself with our motley crew of instructors. I love it when I host those days
yeah.
to
That's
see that.
available now for
Yeah,
Christmas.
exactly. Yeah, get and you can
yeah,
either buy a package or you can buy gift tokens to gift vouchers towards it as well.
yeah.
Is that
Gift
still the
voucher
case, George?
or experiences. Yeah, you can buy the experience now. Vouchers, you'll just miss last post date, but you'll get an email confirmation and stuff still. So
Which can be
yeah,
printed out, can't it, and
yeah,
put
yeah,
in a
with your
card.
code.
I've been
But
there,
yeah,
done that one, to be honest with you. And we got rally score the other side. We've got all sorts going on around the circuit. Get yourself down there. So much to do, so much to enjoy at the circuit. And let's be honest, the likes of Rich and Max and all of that, they
yeah,
haven't even started really beefing up the events yet.
exactly. Yeah,
Which you love because they
yeah,
go, there it is, George, and you go with your sales and marketing going, great, I can market the hell out of that.
yeah. I've been fully focused on the website, getting that like pushing that last few weeks, but then it'll be in the new year, coming up with new ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, great, can't wait. Yeah, I think I saw something for Cat in the Racing Club socials where it's like we have 2 seasons. It's the getting ready and the actual race season, isn't it? So everyone says to me that should be like a quiet time. What are you doing? It's just getting ready again and how we can improve and do better. And
There is no quiet time, is there? There really isn't. Like you say, the getting ready to and then the doing, it really is. Well, George, listen, my friend, keep up the great work. Keep promoting the circuit, everything that we got going on there. It's such a lovely family, which is where this channel was really born out of when we were in the lockdown, and we just sort of like all came together as a family, whether it's the spectators, the drivers, the marshals, the families, everything, and that's what it's all about. And we look forward to seeing you next year. Talking of family, Mary Ward, that's Nathan Ward's mum, Class B Formula 4 champion. Happy Christmas to you all. I think the plan will probably be January is that I may well be looking to do a night of champions where we'll try and get some of our champions of our championships and the series as well to come on the show and catch up and see how their 2023 went. But I think, George, two things. Any final words to say, or have we covered everything that you want to get out at the moment?
no, yeah, everything's covered for me. Yeah, just Merry Christmas.
That was the next thing, is that, yeah, just to wish the Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you, George, and obviously you with the whole family over the festive period.
Yeah, whole family. Yeah, seeing Gran and stuff. So yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, best wishes to obviously all of them, and obviously Pat was watching earlier, and I know she's still fighting strong with despite the health and what have you. But keep going, you're our matriarch. Kat, from yourself, anything else that you want to say that we haven't covered?
No, just another great year, great racing, great spectators, great fans, great support. Yeah, Merry Christmas. If you're not a Christmas fan and you're just doing a quiet thing, I hope you're all going to stay safe and well. And yeah, it looks like I might be answering a few regulation emails over the Christmas period. So wish me luck.
Good luck, Kat. Well, listen, Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, Kat, and to yours, George. Everybody who's watching, have a fantastic festive period. It's been an absolute pleasure to enjoy the 2023 season with you all, and I can't thank you enough. And I look forward to having your company back at the circuit again in 2024, which I think we all agree after watching this tonight is pretty exciting. From us here, have a wonderful festive break. We'll see you on the other side. Cheers all.
That's great. Thanks a lot.
Bye.